the Human Rights Movement of Crimea, followed by the CJ Foundation. Human Rights Movement of Crimea, you have the floor.
My name is Enver Kadyrov. I'm from the Human Rights Movement of Crimea. Since the start of the unlawful detentions and arrests and the subsequent holding in custody in Crimea, another problem has emerged, which has basically gone overlooked by the government of Ukraine and by the international community. The lack of official representation for the interests of political prisoners and their families in legal relations in Ukraine and at the international level is a major problem. Today, our organization is empowered to represent the interests of families who are persecuted in Crimea for their convictions, and we provide information with a view to beginning court proceedings at the International Court of Justice and the European Court of Human Rights in order to prove that there are multiple cases of human rights violations and disproportionate restrictions to freedoms and discrimination on religious grounds committed by the Russian Federation. We are also trying to get the Prosecutor's Office of Ukraine to step up its work in terms of investigating the human rights violations and initiating criminal proceedings. Such violations against families are multiple and they go beyond the boundaries of morality. For instance, the psychological harm caused by raids and arrests when soundly sleeping children are woken up by security forces crashing into their rooms is tremendous. And then there's sometimes direct intimidation of the families of political prisoners who are told that their parents will never be released from prison. And of course, a lot of the information about this has raised public hue and cry, but there has been no due response from Ukraine or from the international bodies yet. The families of political prisoners also face material problems linked to the loss or the temporary loss of a breadwinner. And sometimes elderly parents are left without any care. Families with many children are often destitute, and today they are socially unprotected. They do not receive the necessary support from the Ukrainian state. All of this calls for developing relevant mechanisms and tools at the state level with the support of the international community in order to truly come to the aid of the families of political prisoners. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is the CJ